In this video, we will study about electric flux. To understand the phenomena of electric flux, let us first consider an example. In example, the water is flowing in a river. So this arrow shows the direction of river flow, and I have placed this ring whose plane is perpendicular to the river flow, your water flow. Now, the amount of water crossing this ring, how much water is crossing this ring, depends upon the amount of water crossing this ring depends, first of all, naturally it depends upon the size of the ring, or we can say area of the ring. If this ring is smaller and if ring is bigger, in which case the amount of water cross will more, naturally the bigger ring. So in this case, the amount of flow of water through this ring will be more. So we can say that amount of water crossing a given ring depends upon the area of the ring. Second, it also depends upon the speed of the water. On the speed of water, what should be the speed of the water? Naturally, if the speed of the water at this point is more, then more amount of water will cross in a given time. If the speed is less, then the less amount of water will cross through this ring in a given time. And third, also depend upon its orientation. So it also depends upon the orientation of the ring. Means if I rotate this ring, you will find that if you keep on rotating this ring like this one, so what, these are the two situations. This is the first, second, third and fourth situation. If you keep on rotating this ring, you will find that the amount of water crossing through the given ring decreases. As you keep on rotating this ring, your amount of water crossing a given ring keep on decreasing. At this point, it becomes 0. At this one, it becomes 0. This means that it also depends upon the orientation of the ring. So these are the three factors on which the amount of water crossing a given ring depends. On the similar basis, we can study the concept of electric flux. Let us discuss about electric flux. It is defined as the amount of electric field lines crossing a given area. So that is, if this is your electric field or direction of electric field, and electric field is uniform, and this is your surface area. This surface area I have placed whose plane is perpendicular to the electric field. This one. This plane is placed in this direction. The electric field lines are crossing this one. Field lines which are crossing given this area. This is your plane which is placed perpendicular to the electric field. So electric flux. Now let us discuss about electric flux. Electric flux measures that how much amount of or given surface area. It means that electric flux is basically how much field lines are crossing in a given area. Now, the amount of field lines crossing a given area depends upon the three factors as we discussed above. First, it depends upon the size of the plane. If the plane is small, then the electric flux amount of field line crossing a given area will be less. If field is big, then the amount of field line crossing a given this area will be more. So it depends upon the surface area. So that is S. Second, it depends upon what is the strength of the electric field at a place where the plane is kept or where the plane is located. So it depends upon the strength of electric field. Now we know that if the strength of the field is more, there will be more number of lines. Density of the lines will be more. So the amount of field line crossing this area will be more. So it depends upon the strength of the electric field. Third, it depends upon the orientation of the surface area. To understand it, I considered three orientation of the surface area in an electric field, in a uniform electric field. From here, you can see that if the ring is placed in this direction, if it is along this direction, so you will see that most of the electric field lines will cross this ring. If I tilt it with some angle, then the effective area which is in front of this electric field lines will be reduced. So the electric flux decreases. If I place this ring along this direction, then you will find that there will be no electric field lines which will cross here. This means that the electric flux in this case is zero. So that is our third case. So in third case, the flux is equal to, we represent flux by phi. The flux is zero. In the first case, the flux is maximum. So from here we understood that the electric flux depends upon these three factors. Now, if we write it mathematically, discuss one more thing, that what is the direction of the surface area. So if this is a plane of the surface area, then the direction of this area will be perpendicular to its plane. If this is a surface area, then its direction is always normal to the plane of the surface area. If the surface is closed, then the direction of the surface area will be outward. So if I take this section of the surface area, then the direction of the surface area will be normal to this one plane. So this is how we represent the direction of the surface area. Now, the electric flux is a dot product of electric field and surface area. If you calculate it, it becomes Es cos of theta, where theta is the angle between the electric field and the surface area. Since it is a dot product, so the flux is a scalar quantity. So mathematically, the electric flux is defined as the dot product of electric field and the surface area. So that is phi is equal to E dot S vector. If you remove this dot product, it becomes Es cos of theta. From here, this formula you can see here, the flux depends upon the electric field, surface area, and the angle between the surface area and the electric field. This diagram, if the direction of this plane is along this direction, then what is the direction of this surface area? Which is always perpendicular to the plane of this area. So it is along this direction, and direction of electric field is in this direction. So the angle is 0, cos 0 is 1, that is a maximum value. So flux is maximum, as we have discussed here also. As we have discussed here also, in one case the flux is maximum. This one, if we rotate this figure and it lies along in this direction, then the surface direction is given by always plane to the normal, that is along this direction. Electric field is along this direction, and then here angle is 90 degree. So if you cos 90, the flux will be equal to 0. So as we have already discussed in third case, the flux is 0. This was our third case. So this formula take or consider all the dependence of electric flux. The major problem is that this formula of electric flux is applicable only when the electric field is uniform or surface area is regular. For a non-uniform electric field and irregular surface area, like this, suppose this is our surface area and this is your direction of electric field. It is also non-uniform. Here it is, electric field is non-uniform and surface area is irregular. As for this surface, the direction of surface area is along this direction, which is making an angle of theta 1 with electric field. If you take a different surface area, for this surface, direction of surface area is along always perpendicular to the surface area, that is along this direction, which is making an angle of this theta 2. So each and every point of the surface area making a different angle. And the electric field is not same as in the case of this first one as compared to the second one. So what to do? So what we do is we divide this surface area into infinitely small surfaces. And then these surfaces are so small that for this small surface the electric field is uniform and it makes only one angle with the electric field. So we calculate the electric flux because of this small surface and we integrate it, or we calculate the flux for all small surfaces of the surface area and then we add them or we integrate it. So it becomes, so we divide. So the small amount of flux for this surface is given by E dot ds. E is electric field at that point. So E dot, if you remove the dot product, it becomes E ds cos of theta. Now to calculate the total flux, the total flux will be integration of E dot ds or E ds cos of theta. So this is your formula of electric flux. The SI unit of electric flux is, see here, E is measured in Newton per Coulomb and area is measured in meter square. So it becomes Newton meter square per Coulomb. Okay, to understand it more, let us do this example that is given in NCERT 1.15. In this example, in this exercise question, electric field is given, that is 3 into 10 raised to power 3. I is a direction, Newton per Coulomb, and a square is given of side 10 centimeter and is in YZ plane. If I draw a reference frame, so this is your this much, it is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, and this is your z-axis. Electric field is along the x-axis. I means along x-axis. So electric field is moving along this direction, and a square is placed in along YZ. This is your y, this is your z. So this is your YZ. Now what should be the direction of then this one, this plane? we know that the direction of this area will be perpendicular to the plane. So this is a plane, and perpendicular it will be along this direction, which is same as that of the electric field. So angle between E and S is equal to 0, or we can say that E is parallel to S. So the flux becomes E ds cos of theta. So here E is E ds cos theta or E s cos of theta. So here I will use this term E 3 into 10 is to power 3 and S surface area square 10 centimeter side, the area will be 10 change into meter minus 2 whole square, and area means pi r square. So this becomes pi r square into cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So we solve it. 3 into 10 is to power 3. 100. 10 is to minus 4 into pi. So 300 into 10 is to power minus 1 pi. If you further solve it, it becomes 30 pi Newton meter square per coulomb. So this is your flux coming out of this surface area. The second problem is, he says that if this plane is rotated by an angle of 60 degree, if you rotate this surface by an angle of 60 degree, mean to say that if this is rotated by an angle of 60 degree like this one, then its perpendicular will also be rotated by an angle of 60 degree, which is the direction of surface area. So here the angle will be 60 degree. So then the flux becomes E s cos of 60 degree. So again 3 into 10 is to power 3. S is what? Surface area. Surface area 10 into 10 is to power minus 2 whole square pi into cos 60. What is cos 60? It is 1 by 2. If you further solve it, so we become phi is equal to, it becomes 15 pi Newton meter square per coulomb square. As you see in this example, when electric field is parallel to the direction of surface area, then the flux is more or maximum. If you rotated it by a 60 degree angle, the flux becomes half. So this is your all about electric flux. Thanking you.